Hello and welcome to Car Lube TV. I've got an engine fault on the M3. Could it be an early warning sign of potential rod bearing failure or throttle actuator failure? If you feel my pain, like this video, consider subscribing to see how this story unravels. It was a normal day. I fired the M3 into life only to be greeted with a check engine warning on the dashboard, plus all of the obligatory bongs. I gasped, and I think my heart actually skipped a beat with the fearing of the worst. If any of you guys have experienced a similar issue with any of your cars, I would be grateful for any input in the comments below. I went through the iDrive to see if there was any further information regarding the issue, but it just told me the car was in limp home mode with no further explanation. Luckily, I have one of the new generation Carly apps, which is perfect for diagnosing problems and saves you the bother of booking a car into a dealership. I have done a couple of videos in the past where I explored some hidden options in the customization mode. There's a link at the top of the screen for that video where we turned on the folding wing mirrors from the key fob, and more importantly for convertible owners, activated the roof operation in motion option, which I found very helpful over the years when in slow moving traffic. After connecting the adapter to the OBD port on my car, we can now diagnose the engine fault wirelessly on my iPhone. Now connected, the app is reading all of the car's ECUs and analysing all the logged fault codes. And straight away in the traffic light warning colour system display, the engine fault is categorised as red for very bad. Now it's time to delve a little bit deeper for individual codes. BMW fault code 2796 is mentioning throttle actuators. These and rod bearings are common weak components on the M3s, and then it mentions the secondary air pump. I did note on startup that the car didn't activate its cold start phase. Anyone wondering what I mean by cold start phase, there is a link at the top of the screen for a video explaining exactly what that means and why M3s are always louder when the car is first started. Next up, we have code 2739, which seems to indicate an exhaust emissions issue. And scrolling down, it mentions an issue with the air mass sensor or catalytic converter on bank 1. Scrolling down further, we have code 27C5. Again, Carly is talking about emissions. And looking online, the code mentions a fuel level sensor fault. Next up we have 2794, Carly gives detail of another sensor, and online showing more detail we have brake booster vacuum sensor with a potential fault. Now it's time for Carly to do its magic trick and clear all the codes and see if they come back. If they come straight back, it does indicate there is a serious problem and you should definitely seek further specialist diagnostics before you cause any further harm by driving the car. It is worth noting that when a car has a major fault logged, it will trigger other less important faults that aren't actually faults or anything to worry about. But in this case, I think the most likely culprit will be a throttle actuator failure in the future. Again, if anyone else has any suggestions, please leave a comment below. Diagnostics completed and the fault is still showing on the iDrive screen. Plus, the car is still not going through its cold start phase. And there we have it, success. The codes have been deleted and are no longer showing on the app or the iDrive. Worth mentioning, the faults you can see on the iDrive relate to the non-adaptive headlights I fitted in a past video. Link to that at the top of the screen if you want to watch that video. So now the engine codes have been removed and haven't reappeared, it's time to take the M3 around the block and see if they return. Fantastic news. The car was completely normal on the test drive, no issues whatsoever. I ran the diagnostics again and no faults were logged, but I fear this is not the end of the story. If you've got this far, drop the video a like, browse the channel, and if you like what you see, consider subscribing. I will obviously do an update video to this if the problem persists. Thank you all for watching, see you on the next video. Welcome to episode 28 of E93 M3 Recreation on Carlube TV. I'm at the BMP Conversions workshop today to talk to Spencer about all the exciting work he's carried out since. In this episode of Carlube TV, we are going to lower the suspension on my M3, and if you're looking to do this on your car, this is a how-to guide.